Yeah. Hello, everyone. Again, how are you guys doing? Yeah, today is another Friday, and we are here to, do what we know how best to do. That is giving information to registered nurses that are about to come to the United States. There's a lot of things on the internet already. There's a lot of tension. A lot of people are asking questions about, the recent decree, executive orders, if it's affecting those on EB3. We're going to go into that a little bit today. But on another lighter note, we have somebody here who is going to be giving us some information about the clinical and cultural adaptation to the United States. So stay tuned. It's going to be a wonderful session. Our guest is here and fully ready to help us with all the information we need about clinical and cultural adaptation to the United States. Okay, before now, we were just welcoming everybody that joined us on the show. And we have so many people from different continents. Okay, today we have someone from Switzerland, and then we have many other people from Ghana, from Nigeria, from Liberia, from the UK. We have so many people that are represented here from different continents. And I like what we are doing. I like the reach. I like the fact that people are letting their friends know. I'll tell you a quick story. So when I was preparing for my NCLEX, one of the major battle I faced was people who have, traveled abroad at the time. And when I asked them to kind of how did you go about this process? And they would just, summarize it by telling me it was God. They all give glory to God. They don't even know how God did it. It was just like a miracle. Come on. This is not miracle. These are processes. These are things that people go through, on a normal day to get to where they want to be. So I kind of started by disabusing people's mind about just claiming that God did everything. I know God does everything, but there are some of these processes, you know, some of these steps that we need to know about. And for some reason, people were so afraid of letting those information out. But one thing I want to let you know is that US is so big, is very, very huge. And I mean, there's a place for everyone. Even if I emptied my community to the United States, I have over 10,000 nurses on Telegram. I have so many groups of nurses in all our platforms. If everyone should come here, guess what? There will still be shortage of nurses in the United States. We can't fill all the position. All right? Because as people are coming, a lot of people are resigning. A lot of people are making a decision today as I'm talking to you. People are saying I quit at their job and not working anymore. And let me tell you, it's not going to be a robot that is going to fill those positions. It's going to be human beings. And most people, especially the Gen Z population, they are more of social media content creation. People want to live a free, easy life. No, not many people wants to go into doing the nursing job. So that's one thing I want us to always keep in mind. There is a place for everyone here in the United States. If I have not talked to any hospital today alone, I talked to so many hospitals that were trying to kind of get to staff their hospitals with nurses. And one thing they keep on saying is that there is shortage of nurses, but the process of bringing people is becoming too long. Is becoming too long. That's what all of them keep saying. So they want to, they want to really fill this position because they believe that the need that they want or the need that they want to fill is like an immediate and urgent need. So maybe 10 people can come to work today and quit and they want to fill it. They don't have that luxury of time to wait for people on EB3. So that's what they are trying to explain to me. And it's not like it's not working. So if you are with any agency, if you're with any direct hire, just keep doing what you are doing. Forget about the retrogression. One thing with retrogression, why I like retrogression is that it doesn't mean denial. Retrogression actually means slow. If it's slow, it will still surely get to your turn. All right. So if you are worried about retrogression, I want to shock you. We all had retrogression during our own time. I had retrogression during my own time. So many people, even Mr. Aloy that is here today, that is going to be speaking to us. I don't want to put words into his mouth. I want him to give you guys his own part of the story because everybody had challenges. Everybody had their own story to tell. It wasn't easy for everyone. So I want you guys to stay focused. I've met or my specialist and some of my instructors have been telling me that a lot of nurses are saying that they want to quit the process because of retrogression and because of Trump leadership, that they are thinking that the retrogression is going to last for a very long time. Let me tell you one thing. There was something that happened during our time. So there was a time that there was a very, very severe shortage of nurses in the United States. Do you know that even some states, as let me mention the name of the state, I think New York, they lowered the standard. They were like, just come in. Come in if you want to work as, in our floor, come in, we'll give you a quick training. Just, start working. You're not working as a registered nurse. We just want to train people who are going to come into the healthcare and start working because that time of COVID, a lot of hospitals were short-staffed. Some nurses didn't want to work. Some nurses just really just want to sit back and wait until that whole COVID is over. Okay, so I just want to let you know, it's not denial, it's not that serious. We all had our own fair share of delays in our processes, and that's why we come here every day to encourage you and also to kind of let you know that we passed through this and we believe that you would pass through it and come out successful. So thank you everyone that told us where they are watching from. We are more than almost 60 people on the room, sorry. And we are here and we're about to start listening to our guest, Mr. Aloy Okorie. Mr. Aloy Okorie. Mr. Aloy Okorie, you're welcome to the show today. How are you doing? Okay, let me give you background of me and Mr. Aloy. Mr. Aloy is a very good friend and also my boss. I call him my boss. I was talking to him yesterday. I said, when I call you a boss, you always shy away from it. But I reminded him, I just showed him a picture where in a program, I was the MC in a program, and he was the invited guest that was supposed to give gifts to award recipients. And I sent him a picture of that. He was smiling. I said, today is another time for me to be an MC for you to come and give us, that information, which I know that you really have. So Mr. Aloy is a registered nurse. He worked in Nigeria, in Nigerian Turkish Nizamiya Hospital. He was the head of their emergency unit. And then from there, Mr. Aloy came to the United States. He has been in the ER for as long as I know. So anything that you think about the ER, you can bring all the questions today. Mr. Aloy is more than happy to assist you. He knows the in and out of the ER department. He knows everything. And then Mr. Aloy is also, how will I put it? He's also someone who has come to the United States at the point where things were really difficult in the US during the COVID and everything, and he survived that. He was able to put in the work, survive that. He went through an agency, he survived that. He went through, a lot of challenges in the US, and he has been, pulling up very strong. I just want to commend him. He has been a great friend to me. He has been like a motivator, a mentor. Whenever I talk to him, I draw strength. So I want him to talk to you all today. Okay, Mr. Aloy, you're welcome to the show today. How are you doing? How is Dallas, Texas?
Thank you, Mr. Decency. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear
Oh,
you.
great. Mr. Decency has been making my head get so big. So I don't even know if I have all these, qualities and stuff he's been mentioning.
So there
But
is a course in DNA. He was also an instructor in Decency NCLEX Academy before he came to the United States. Even when he came to the United States, he was juggling his US job and still teaching in the academy. he did the BLS, and I think he also did EKG at a time. So he can't tell me that you don't have that. You have, for you to teach BLS, ACLS, and EKG in my classes, it means you're one of the very best. So please, I know you're humble, stay humble, but yes, receive your flowers. You're a very smart young man. So thank you for being who you are. You're welcome to the
Well,
show.
thank you very much, and thank you for the opportunity of coming back to this NC Academy to say one or two things to people. And I know that there are a lot of people, having aspirations to get into the US or something like that. But I just want to encourage you, like, just be positive about it. It doesn't matter what happens, the delay or whatever, you eventually get there. Sometimes I tell people, if I could do it, then I believe you can do it. Because in my own situation, I faced too many challenges that, I can't finish sharing on this meeting. But I just want to keep you, just be focused on what you're doing. What you're doing is a good thing. And I'm telling you, one day you live to tell stories too to people of, how your journey and everything went through. So once again, it's a pleasure coming here today. I wasn't even expecting this, but it came to me as a surprise. And this is someone I've worked with, a long time. Back in Nigeria, we crossed too many hurdles together. So when he presented this opportunity, I couldn't turn it down. I couldn't say no to it. But I just decided to squeeze out of my own time to see how I can fit into, do some discussion with, this group. So I'm happy to be here. I'm excited to also meet people that are in the process of, writing the NCLEX, or you have written the NCLEX, or you're on your way to the US. It's all good. And, no matter what your situation is today, don't be discouraged. That's what I will tell you. Just keep pressing on. And I believe in the end, you will have good things and testimonies that you're going to tell.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much. I appreciate you. See, I have a
Okay.
I have a gift for you. I will send this to you. See, this is for you. For those who live in Texas, if you see this, you will know. I will
Oh,
send it
yeah.
your way.
Okay. Thank you
All right,
so much.
so Aloy, I know, we have a lot of people and you see they are coming from different continents and
Yeah.
a lot of them are in different stage of their process, but majority have passed NCLEX, they are waiting for retrogression. But I just wanted to know, can you share a little bit of insights, just a little background story of, who you were back then in Nigeria and then maybe coming to the United States, how your process was and where you work in the United States. Lastly, you will just tell us like, from the time that you clock in at your job to the time you
Mhm.
clock out, what your roles, your responsibilities are, so that, I want people here to begin to create mental picture of what it means to work in the United States, all the
Yeah.
duties, some of the gray areas that they should be mindful of so that they don't make a mistake. If you can just touch on that a little bit, that would be so helpful. So the floor is yours. Go ahead,
Okay.
sir.
Thank you very much once again. I know we're looking at cultural and adaptation challenges of Africans, especially when they migrate to the US. But I want to make you understand that, first of all, there are a little bit of things that are different. It's still the same hospital, it's still the same needle, it's still the same syringe, it's still the same patient. In fact, you'll be surprised, like some of the equipment maybe you're using back wherever you are, you come back here and you see it's still the same thing. Because for me, first of all, we started in where I was working in Nigeria, Nigerian Turkish hospital. It's a hospital that was run by the Turkish, basically, with the support of Nigerian government. So somehow we were exposed to some very good state-of-the-art equipment and the facility that we worked in. So when I looked at the US, I saw it like, oh, I'm going to see, more advanced technology and things like that. But it's not completely true. So I still saw some of those things I saw in Nigeria here because I was thinking I would be having, higher stuffs to deal with, but it's pretty much the same. It's just maybe some policies in the hospital or the technique in the way they do some things, that might be different, which is just something you need to just brush up with and you'll be fine. So I just want you to relax as you're going through this process, and as you go to work, it's always like, in fact, when I first came, let me just start from when I first came. I had a lot of challenge. First of all, I had a family that I came with, so I had to like settle a lot of things. Then at the same time, I was trying to resume my clinical work with my place of work. But I came in through an agency. An agency did a very good thing. They assigned like they call it a trip support specialist. So that person takes you around the area, takes you around the hospital where you're going to work, and show you some things that will help you as you begin to, start living your life in that area. So that person kind of helped us to establish our accommodation, even to purchase a car then and all that, because I'm telling you, it was not easy. It wasn't easy. So along the line, I finally got to work area. I got to meet my what I call my managers and all that. That was what we call it meet and greet, the first experience. So my first encounter with them was meet and greet with it. Then after that, I resumed my work. Of course, you're gonna be under orientation when you resume. And the time of the orientation depends on how quick or how fast you're able to learn and adapt to the mechanics and things that are done in the hospital, especially with their policies as ascribed to nursing. Because these hospitals, some of their policies are different. So as you begin to work, you begin to see a little differences in policies. But those are things that it's not really a big deal. It's just probably okay, we flush our IVs 2 times in a shift. Then another hospital will tell you you don't need to flush it 2 times. We just flush it once on a shift. So something just a little bit of differences here and there. So going with that, I was able to get myself settled gradually into the hospital system. And because I also had family, I had kids that I needed to be catered for. So it also posed some challenges for me, how to manage the home thing and also manage the hospital. That's for those that are married. But for individual who is single, you probably just have to deal with settling into your hospital work. So, but I think I was impressed with the kind of people I met at my workplace. They were very supportive. They were very friendly. They were very nice. So they helped me to really settle into the work, and that was very, very good. And it also made me have a different look at the way things really are. Because when people tell you a lot of things, when you go there, the whites, they'll discriminate you, they do this, there's racism, this and that. But I just think it's how you're able to conduct yourself. And if you know your onions, I mean, if you know what you're doing, then you attribute all those respect and support that you need to carry on with your work. I don't think there's anyone there that is there to wish hunt you or something like that, except if you start on a very bad note. But what I would encourage you to do is try to settle down as much as you can and make yourself valued, like in the way you conduct yourself and the way you carry out the things at work is very, very important. Because when they begin to see those good signs you're showing, they'll begin to, become attracted to you. They begin to look at you as a different person. Before you know it, they begin to maybe kind of give you some responsibilities and you'll be surprised. So they're actually not as people say they are or as people may make it look, but it's more of what you do to yourself, how you're able to coordinate yourself in your work area so that your people can see you as someone that is valued. So also there's something I also want to mention. While you're in your workplace as a new person that is under orientation, it will be very, very important for you to always ask questions. It's very, very important. Even if it's a stupid question, even if it's something stupid, even if you think they're going to laugh at you or something, it's better you ask those questions. When you ask those questions, you're able to learn and also make your necessary corrections rather than you making a mistake. Because when you make a mistake, most times it's not going to be acceptable. it may be difficult for you to turn it around. But when you ask questions, you're able to avoid those mistakes from happening. And before you know it, you're having a clean slate, no negative stuff that are going to use against you. So always ask questions to your preceptor, to your managers, or whoever is around you that is ready to help you. Don't look at it like they're going to look at you somehow or something like that, but just try to keep yourself, protected from making mistakes. Um, Getting into the work area too, you need to see the kind of patients. Some of them are interested in you. Most times they always ask me, where are you from? When did you come in? How did you come in? They try to ask you those questions. Some of them, they are surprised seeing you. Some of them are impressed. Some of them are just being inquisitive. So just try to see how you can moderate all that and do your work. So they're actually very appreciative of the fact that you're here to help in the clinical area. They appreciate that for most of it. I know you see a little bit of some patients that might give you some attitude or give you some things that you will not like. But for most of it, yeah, I think you will enjoy your work when you're able to open yourself up and do the thing that you're supposed to do correctly. Um, so we also look at things like maybe their culture, their system, the way they do some things. Like I would say, maybe when it comes to food, in Africa, there are some, like the Muslims, they don't do anything pork or pig, what I call it, pig packaged
Products.
foods like that. Yeah, so they don't deal with that. But you find out that there's a lot of it in the US. There's a lot of, things like that. So you have to accept everything that you see for what they are. You're not going to start making, no, I don't do this, I don't do that, because it's going to get into more trouble and it's going to make you look like you're discriminating somebody. So for as much as you can, just put yourself together. Let me just say for myself, I really don't do pork, but it doesn't mean that I cannot give a patient if they want it or I cannot handle it or something like that. Though I don't eat it, but still I still have to, do that for the patient. So I just want us to understand that because many people get into problems with, little things like that I could easily have avoided.
Mhm.
Just avoid it and do what you're supposed to do rather than making issues out of nothing.
Good point, because you
Um,
can say it's not it's against my belief, it's against my
yeah,
faith, but the patient wants it. You're actually there for
yeah,
the patient. You know,
yeah,
like, just go ahead. I don't want to take the story from you,
yeah,
but like I've
yeah.
told them a story of where I was in a room and the patient came in, and the surgery that we were supposed to do was a guy that was sorry, a girl that was trying to become a guy. So she came to remove her breast. Like it
Mm,
was like mastectomy, and there was
yeah.
nothing wrong with the breast. You just want to remove it and look like a guy. You understand my point?
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
after that surgery, I was looking, I was like, what? I felt somehow within me, but that is what the patient wanted, at that
Mm,
time. So it's just for the patient. We are there for the patient. So don't go and create a scene and think that the hospital would support you because you
yeah.
didn't, it's against your belief. Your belief comes
Yeah.
second, his patient comes
Yeah.
first. Go
That's
ahead, sir.
true.
Mhm.
Okay. Thank you for that. Thanks for the input. So I also want to look at another thing like I'll call it like maybe health literacy. Then you talk of like health systems, their technologies, like in form of IT and the other things. So you'll be exposed to a lot of electronical records and things like that. The way you operate the health system is going to be more of electronic based. For some of us that came from maybe some traditional societies where we were still using paper and pen to write, or maybe we don't have like those sophisticated equipment to work with, I would say maybe you start watching some videos, reading up some things on the internet yourself, just to get a little bit of acclimatization with some of these things. And maybe some of it are also coming through agencies. They can give you a little training before they expose you to the clinical area. Because like my own agency, when we came in, into the US, they first took us for some, I think like 2 months or thereabout. We had like a cultural adjustment program where we're exposed to, how things are done in the hospital, some of those equipment, their kind of ways of carrying out some procedures. Some of those things you be exposed to. It helps to equip you and it helps you to give you that confidence so that when you get into the work area, you're not going to be shaking or you're not going to be acting like, I've never seen this before. I've never heard of this thing. It would make you to kind of, lose some balance at that point. So some of those exposures help us to be more confident in the work area. So we have to also make ourselves useful in our work area. We're not going to say because we are new or this or that. It's possible you may not have someone that will train you through all those things, but the little you're able to do for yourself will go a long way to help you. I also look at like mental stress in the work area. Um, just find a way to, let me say, absorb some heat because some patients will throw some things at you. They will say some things that, you may not like. They may want you to do like extra things that ordinarily you wouldn't have been doing, but just find a way to be use your clinical knowledge to handle those things. Use therapeutic answers to your questions. Don't start arguing with your patients because you can't argue with the patient. For a matter of fact, I always say the patient is always right. So no matter what the patient has said, the patient is right. So don't look at it like you are a nurse, you have to tell the patient what to do. No, the patients have rights here. Um, some of them will tell you when you come for your giving them medication, when you list, let's say you have to give them like 10, let's say like 5 medications at that point, they'll tell you, okay, I don't want this one, I don't want this one. At the end of the day, they're just taking maybe 2 from you or just 1 from you. Give it to them. That's what they want. You can't force them. The patient has a right to refuse, that medication. Because in some societies, patients are like kind of coerced or forced to like take medication so that they can get well. But in the US, it's not like that. The patient has a right to, some of those things. Sometimes you even want to do some procedure on the patient will tell you, no, I don't want to do it. So you just have to let go. Or the patient will tell you, okay, I don't want to do it now. You can come back later again and ask the patient, please, sir, please, ma'am, do you still want to do this? Do you think we should do it? Okay, what time will it be convenient for you to, to carry out this procedure or something? So patients, they have a lot that you deal with when you come into the US. So you understanding some of these things is something that will help you to be successful in your work area. Um, so our pattern in maybe where we came from might be different from what we have here. So we have to now come here and learn how to deal with the patients. And I'm telling you, when you learn how to deal with them, you will not have any problem with the patients. Once you understand the way to deal with them, they will begin to respect you. Let's say you are having them on maybe subsequent days to take care of that patient. When you come back the next day, you see the patient will be responding better to you because you have been able to establish who you are, and the patient has also seen that you know what you're doing. So the patient has, a greater level of confidence in dealing with you. So for me, for an instance, I can say I have dealt with patients. Let me just like get to work, and they tell me, oh, the other nurses are like, oh, I don't want to take that room. I don't want to take that patient. He's this, he's that. He's rude. He's aggressive. So I just go in and I tell them, hi, sir. How can we help you today? What are your expectations? So the patient will begin to tell you all the wrongs people have been doing to them. So when they begin to tell you those things, you begin to take them one at a time and see how you can solve or resolve them. Sometimes it's just food that is the problem. They just need something to eat. So you just find a way to get them something to eat. Then you'll calm them down. Then the next thing you look for, what else is the problem? He has not received the pain meds. The pain med he has is not enough. He needs something stronger. You communicate to the doctor or whichever provider is managing the patient. Please, patient is still complaining about pain. This is that, this level of pain. How can we do something else to help this patient? Okay, the doctor says, okay, let me add something else for the patient's pain management. Then the doctor will ask something else. You see, that problem is also solved. You ask the patient, what else? You see, with that, the patient becomes more relaxed and he becomes more confident with your relationship with him because he feels that you are actually concerned about his or her, feelings and situation in the hospital. So some of these things are some things we should pay attention to when we're managing the patients. Um, I know like a lot of people, like the Americans, they may not be doubt, some of them will not be ready to do some things, but I would just encourage you to have a better feeling or better relationship with your parents. Try to go the extra mile. Let us not run out of patience. Let us be patient with our patient. I don't know if we're understanding what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah.
understanding. Okay.
We're getting
So,
it. Thank you.
yeah. Um, so I also want to look at in my work area, another thing I had very good with myself, like on my unit, I try to do what is right. Don't follow what people are doing, follow what is right, what the hospital policies are. Because when you do that, you begin to, when you do the right thing, your managers and the others that are above, they become happy with you and they're ready to help you. I have been in situations where maybe I was not able to go to work or something, and I had to call my manager, please, I didn't know I'm supposed to be working today. This is that. My manager, no problem, no problem, I'll take care of it. They're able to help you handle some of those little issues that you may feel you don't know how you're going to go about it, just because you have a good relationship with these people. So maintaining a good relationship with our bosses at the hospital, or even our colleagues, our co-workers, is very, very important. It's very, 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 very important because it will help you a lot. You wouldn't know when you need them, even if it is for recommendation to sign some paperwork or something that you need for something. They are there to help you. Even if you want to go to school, there's some documentation they need from them to help you endorse and things like that. They will help you. These are some of the things I benefited from, the people I work with, just because of the way, I brought myself down to do the work. The work is not easy. It is not easy. I'm not going to tell you it's easy, but if you bend down to do it, you are really going to gain a lot from it. So it is some of these things that help you to succeed as an RN in the US or as someone that is ready to succeed and take the next step in the US.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
yes, boss. I
Thank.
don't know if I'm actually going online or
No, you are, you are. I wanted to like I want them to kind of picture your emergency room. Like when you
okay.
come in and clock in, what are the things that, what are the
Okay.
activities that take place in your shift?
Okay. So like for me, first of all, I was an emergency nurse, but now I'm more like a cardiac nurse, sort of. Um, Let me just say from Nigeria, I was working in the emergency unit in the hospital where before we came to the US. So there you just go in, you clock in. Do we even clock in at that time? I
We
think.
did, we did.
I
Remember
think.
Yusuf got us that thing that we're using to clock in with our thumb.
Okay, okay, yeah, 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 that's
Yeah,
true.
yeah, we
That's
did.
true. So we clock in and we begin to check, make sure everything is in place where they're supposed to be and things like that. Then we begin to do our work. So it's about the same thing in the US, but I think where I'm working is like a bigger facility. So we have a lot of hands on ground. So once you come in, you clock in, you go see your patients that are assigned to you. There are already some patients usually in the ER. Maybe you get like 3 to 4 patients as the case would be, depends on the patient load and the number of staff that we have on ground. So our documentation in the ER is different from those on the floor. In the ER, you just do like basic assessments, like the Glasgow scale, little input and output, things on the chart like that, just to make sure you're able to put something on the patient because it's like a very fast turn. Patients come, they stay like an hour or two, and they're transferred to maybe the floor or to the OR or somewhere. So it's like fast paced in the ER. Unlike the floor, when you have that patient can stay with you throughout the shift, the whole 12-hour shift. That patient is with you there. So all your documentation will be complete for that patient, like everything that's going on with the patient. So it's a little different, when you talk of in the ER and on the floor. And also in the ER, there are some things we do, like, setting up of the patient, the IVs and things like that. The doctors come in and they review the patient. Like, we work very closely with the doctors in the ER, unlike on the floor. Like, when the patient goes to the floor, the nurses probably wouldn't see the doctor on the floor all the time, but they have like the Omnicell or Pyxis, where all the medications have been set up for that patient. So whenever that time is up, the nurse just goes to the Pyxis or the Omnicell and pulls the medication and give the patient. But in the ER, it's like we're doing it there and there together. Okay, we're doing this, we're doing that. Sometimes those others are not even in yet. You quickly go in and grab the medication and start, giving the patient so that the patient can start getting some treatment, before, other things are in place. Then we talk about them going for tests like MRI, chest X-rays, CAT scans and things like that. When they have those procedures to go, and there in the ER, we have some of those departments very close. So we have like the ER CAT scan, we have the ER X-rays and all that, so they can quickly send patients to those places, and those procedures are quickly done. Then the doctors review almost immediately, and treatment is continued on the patient. Unlike on the floor, the patient goes to the floor. It might take a while before they're able to go for their CAT scan. It might take a while before they're able to go for an MRI or even a chest X-ray. It's a little different from the floor. So also another thing I would say, I noticed there's a lot of like patients coming with maybe serious health challenges. Probably they've been at home, they don't have health insurance and things like that. So it has limited their ability to come to the hospital. So sometimes you receive patients that are very, very sick. It's that their situation has really gone critical, it has gone chronic. So such patients, we receive them many times too in the ER, and some of the patients vehemently refuse coming to the hospital. It's their families that literally push them or force them to come to the hospital. And by the time they come, you see that this person is has really gone so bad with his condition. And some of them are nonchalant, to be sincere. They're actually nonchalant. They don't really care, what is happening. They don't really care if their situation is getting worse. All they just want is if they can eat, if they can smoke, if they can drink, they're okay with that. And so you see like a little bit of difference from, who we're coming from. Because some of these things became things like things I have to accept to live with, because I started seeing those kind of things. I never knew people were exposed to a lot of things here, unlike when I was in Nigeria before coming here. So it's actually wonderful. It's a good experience. It's very nice. You meet a lot of people that you will love, and you will learn a lot of things from them, and they will also help you as you climb up. You also have your colleagues. There are some of your colleagues that will be very, very supportive of what you're doing, and you learn to also help these people, on the floor. Like for me, sometimes I work in a unit. Let's say you get flooded, you know what it means? Like maybe they don't need you on your unit. Another unit uses it, they'll float you to another unit. Then when you go to that unit, you're like a different nurse on that floor. So you don't really know who is there and who is that. And probably you might not get any help. But most times for me, I'm always lucky. Whenever I'm floated to a floor, there's one or two person I will know on that shift. And somehow those people help me to, get around on the floor, because sometimes you don't know where they keep their things, their supplies, or how things are done on that unit. So somehow those having a cordial relationship with your colleagues helps. It
Okay.
helps you when you move to somewhere else. And
Okay.
then those people
Talking
can help you.
about, yeah, sorry to cut you short, but talking about
Yeah.
cordial relationship. I always bring up an ethical dilemma, whenever we gather here. There's something that happened. The nurse is currently on suspension, but I just want to get what your input is. So, the way that you have cordial relationship, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like the society here or community here is kind of confused because at work there are people who you will see them, they want to give you a hug. You see
Hmm.
them, they want to do high five. All those kind of
Yeah.
jovial cordial relationship. And then this CNA is a CNA actually in a floor, and the CNA reported this nurse for sexual harassment that
Wow.
the nurse hugged her in a way she did not like. She did not like. And then the male nurse now is currently on suspension and they are investigating the case. You understand? And the girl has says that both of them have like each other's phone number and they've been texting back and forth. So
Mm.
it's like the guy has already had a kind of, I don't know whether to call it a feeling for the girl, but they had a cordial. There was nothing incriminating on the text that she showed, but she's now coming up to say that the hug that the guy is giving her, that is for her, is sexual harassment. And then this
Mm.
guy is out of job for more than 2 weeks. So where do you really strike a balance in cordial relationship? That's my question. And I want people on the comment section to also, lend your voice to this issue before Mr. Alloy comes in. I really want to know how you guys think because we need to know what is abnormal before we get what I mean. We need to know what is normal before we know what's abnormal. You understand? So what do you think, that these people should actually, how do you strike a balance between cordial relationship and going too far? I want to see comments on the comment section. Was this guy wrong by giving a hug in the sense of cordial relationship? This is somebody's husband. He has kids. He has bills to pay, and he's been out of job for 2 weeks because they are investigating cordial relationship. So, where do you really where do you really strike a balance in cordial relationship? What I'm telling you, you're going to face it when you come to this community, when you come to this society. A lot of people, you will see people who are on their own. You will see people who are, they want to hug you, hold you, carry you up, bring you down. So where do you strike a balance in cordial relationship? I want to see comments on the comment section. So somebody, Nosa said, avoid hug. Oh, America is not Nigeria. Then go change it for you. Like this story. Nosa is also saying no cordial relationship. Village people can come with handshake or hug. Good morning is okay. Greet and pass. I like your way. You can never go wrong with that. But let's see what other people say. No hug. And Dorcas is saying no hug. No need for hug. Yes, no need. Well, not when somebody is spreading hand 180 coming to you, say, I don't want to
Yeah,
hug.
yeah.
That's another thing. So where do you really strike a balance? Because sometimes this thing come to you and then you are now like, what is going on? What is really going on? So where do you really strike a balance? Where does cordial relationship end so that professional relationship can continue? I want to see comment on the comment section, please. I want to really see comments on the comment section.
Okay.
There's an answer I'm looking for. There is an answer I am looking for, and I hope I get it on the comment section. Please, everyone, we have more than 86 people on this. I want you guys to talk, man. Let's get this comment section bubbling. Give me your responses. Nobody will be wrong. There's no wrong answer. Okay. So whatever you
Hmm.
think that is where cordial relationship ends and where professional relationship should continue, let us know your comment. Let us actually pick your brain a little bit. You might have more information than I have, and I would gladly drop mine. Okay, so Kemi Coca is saying, though he meant no harm, but it is wrong to hug someone if the person initiates it, just a side hug or leave and leave. And that is if it is compulsory. Okay. Then Laura is saying being firm, irrespective of the friendship, set boundaries is what you would do. All right. Okay. Let's see. Let's see other people. Then okay, that's Laura. And then Techno Spark is saying don't hug opposite sex. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's see. Do we have more responses on this? GC
Keep it
Codes is
professional.
saying keep it professional. Hi, hey is enough. Okay. All right. I mean there is no wrong and right answer. Okay. Wow. I have my friend Kainde from Fellow North Africa. Fellow North Africa. Let me see what Fellow North Africa is saying. He said a UKHCA was sentenced to prison last week for grabbing his colleague from behind and kiss her. As professional, we should be able to draw lines between professionalism and feelings. Failure to do this will always land you in trouble. Wow, somebody
Hmm.
sentenced to prison. Oh my
Hmm.
God. Oh my God. All right. It's good that we are doing this so that you people will learn. Because some people get lost in the aura of the moment. Like you come to this place and everybody is smiling, everybody is happy, and everybody is hugging. And then you go and hug everybody. You will hug Transformer. Okay, he says it depends. Mostly Nigerian sees everyone has brother, sister, most times. So mostly Nigerian sees everyone as brothers and sisters most times when they really get along. It's
Hmm.
unfortunate, but see Oyibo, greetings with hug and side kisses. Now wow, learning something new. Not to just greet and pass. Okay, Adeniyi is saying at work, irrespective of relationship with any of your work colleague, you must always be professional and do not lose guard. Yes. So you guys are advising yourself, and I like it. All right. iPhone said, please let's always put our names on our handle. So iPhone said, I will ask why the hug with me standing afar with a smile. I like your I like your way small. Okay, Daniel is saying cordial relationship ends when you clock in, and then that is where professional relationship begins. Wow, good one. Good one. That is Rema. Okay, I think at work, everyone should be professional. No hugging, no comment about shape or what someone is putting on. Okay, let's see if you will do it when you come. All right, then another person is saying, to me, it depends on what relationship both of you have before. If not, there is no need to hug your colleague at work. Give a smile and walk away in peace, and let smile be your greeting. Wow, that's from Helen. All
Hmm.
right, let's see one more. Okay, two more. Hugging to me at work is crossing boundaries, as you don't know if this is acceptable by the other person. That is Adeniyi. And then Oluwabumi said, hugging is not professional. Even in Nigeria, I can't hug any colleague. Wow. Okay, so
Hmm.
Aloy, let me hear
Hmm.
your own view about this issue. If you are on that panel judging this case, what would be, because this girl is traumatized because of the hug. So, and that's why she went ahead to report. So, what would be your view? Judging, you've been in this country for more than 4 years, if I
Yeah,
so what? Yeah, I know you've encountered people that hug at work, right? There are people that they call themselves
definitely.
hugger. When they see you, they come to hug, and then there are some people that don't even hug. They don't even they just come to do their work. So how do
Definitely.
you? Mm-hmm,
Well, I think for this case you mentioned, there are some maybe circumstances surrounding it that should be investigated first before looking at the actual thing that happened. Like, what is the relationship between the two people? How long have they known? How, is it that one person is trying to just indict the other person or something like that? So those are some things I might be interested in before actually looking at hugging. And
mm-hmm,
what was the extent of the hug? Is it like an offensive hug or is it a natural hug? There's a way hug comes and you say, no, that hug has crossed the line.
mm-hmm,
So those are some things that, has to be in place. But I think, for me, I don't really see so much to it if there is no such, like maybe too much crossing of boundary. If it's just a hug, I
mm-hmm,
don't think is something I might want to query someone for too much.
mm-hmm,
My thing would be, what is your relationship with this person? How long have people been working together? Have people been having hugs before or something? Those are some things I'll be more interested in. Did the hug cross the line? Did he hug
mm-hmm,
you in the wrong way or something like that? It's possible to just hug out of a good will, not like you're having any intentions or anything. So there's a whole lot that's still attached to it that I can't really say.
That's
But for me,
Mhm.
I've yes, I've seen people that I'm not really a hugging person per se. I might be more formal at work, maybe handshake, greet hello. But there are some people that want to hug. I'm not going to say I run away from them. I just hug and and it depends on how we are relating. It's not everyone that wants to give you a hug. For someone to want to give you a hug, it means you have a kind of closer relationship with that person. Like for me, when I was leaving, because I moved from another state, when I was leaving my workplace, my colleagues were hugging me. They were all hugging me. They even threw like a little party for me, something like that. So it just depends on your relationship with, the person. And if someone should report you that you hug the person, you must have done it wrongly.
Mhm. Mhm.
That's what I'm also thinking, because for someone to go ahead and report that person, it means there is something attached to that hug. It went
Right.
the extra mile.
Mm.
So it's some of those things we have to pay attention to, know who you are, know what you're doing at work. But
Mhm.
most of it, I would say, mind your business. Mind your business.
Okay.
Just,
On the side, that's on the side, yeah. But I just wanted to bring this up because I know a lot of people will be confused when they come here because you
yeah.
don't really know what you cannot say this is what everybody wants. I would say treat everyone as a single individual. You understand
Mm-hmm.
if there's a word like that, as an individual. Because what A wants might be what B abhors, like he doesn't like it. You understand?
Yeah.
So learn everybody at work. You understand? Learn them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, when you come to the US at your workplace, you will see very nice people. In fact, many people you will see will be very nice to you. But there may
Mm.
be one or two Judas in that place. There may be one or two persons that don't just like it may not just be you, but they don't like going out, getting along with everybody. That everybody will be saying, avoid that. You see that girl,
Yeah.
avoid her. That kind of. There will always be somebody like that. So know your terrain. When you come there, know everybody. Know what people want. Don't go and start doing something and say generalize. I did it to A, I did it to B. It might be a very big thing for C. So if this person that you are going to be hugging, you have always seen that hugging is not an issue for the person from other person, then that's fine. And I will always say, like somebody said on the comment section, you can't go wrong with a side hug, but when you hug somebody and hold the person for 30 minutes, then you have something in mind. You have something in mind. Okay, let's that would be the I would just want to stop there so that I'll give our guests more opportunity to shed more light on the cultural adaptation. You've said so many things about the clinical. I had another ethical dilemma about in the clinical area, but this one is something that you can actually know the end from the beginning. So I won't say the nationality of this person so that we will not, but it's not Africa, but that will not be biased in giving our responses. But this nurse actually nursed a female patient, and the female patient got better and was discharged. And it was not, this female patient was not discharged on his shift. So before he could come to work the next time, he went on off. Before he could come to work, this lady has already been discharged. So this guy went to the ladies chat and there's a place where you see contact information of all the patients, and went there and got the lady's number. Okay, because he felt he had something for the lady, but the lady is already discharged, so he cannot. So he had to go to the patient chart, get the number, and call the patient, introduce himself. I'm the nurse so so and so who nursed you in so so and so hospital. I saw that you were discharged. The patient said yes. He started, making love advances, genuine advances. This is like normal. He really loved the girl. The guy is single. He wants to get married to the girl. Maybe they want to date. But do you guys see anything wrong in that? This is a genuine, sincere, love move. You understand? So genuine move, genuine love move, sincere love move. What is wrong in it? What do you see? What do you see? He just went to the chat, got the number. This nurse, this patient knows the nurse. He nursed her before, so it's not like they are seeing for the first time. It's not like they are talking for the first time. It's not like he did not nurse the patient. He nursed him. So, but what is wrong? What is an ethical dilemma? What can you fault in this guy's approach? In getting in touch with this girl of his dream. There's a way you see somebody and you really want to be with the person for life, and then the only option you have is to get the information you want and then make your move. Okay, so sincere love or not, this is against nothing ethics. Okay. Okay,
Mm.
my friend Kehinde is laughing. Okay, so HIPAA violation, yes, yes, I agree. Breach of Puppy Act, and then it's a big offense liable for imprisonment. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Go through her personal info. Yes, because the personal info is actually he went through it the day he lost her. So going back there and finding her, it wasn't a big deal. So but let me see what other people think. Is anything wrong in that? Somebody is just shooting their shot. This is not something that is unusual to you. Okay, Aderonke said, HIPAA violation, village people at work, God I beg. Okay, Oluwabumi said that is too much in USA. Is Africa not a sin? Okay, if it is Africa, it's not a sin, but in USA is a sin. Getting her contact without her consent. Okay, Anyanwu Linda. Anyanwu Linda is saying getting her contact from the chat is very wrong instead of getting it from her directly. But this guy went on off. He was on off duty. How will he get it? It would have been different scenario if they had bumped into each other later. Yes, maybe in Walmart, maybe if they see themselves in Walmart, but who knows? The girl may be shopping in maybe Kroger or some other places, not Walmart. So, and then somebody Chinyere is saying it would have been different. Different, okay, yeah, I said that. Then Coca is saying he's wrong. He's wrong because he crossed professional boundaries beyond normal. And then Laura said, I think there is a breach of confidentiality there because if he actually felt something for her, he would have collected her number while he was still on admission. He went on leave now. He went on vacation. All right. Mary Jane, it isn't professional. And then Techno said, nurse is not to go to patient record after discharge. Priscilla, yes. So then the redeem said the guy is going to pick the girl's contact. The guy going to pick the girl's contact is against nursing ethics and he crossed the boundary and he should be charged to court for doing that. Actually, this guy was sacked and I think his case is still with the nursing board of his state. So he was actually sacked from work and I don't think he'll be employed by anyone until that case is fully investigated. All right, so this is something I don't want you guys to fall victim of. When you come here, to be forewarned is to be forearmed. We have already warned you in this show, so I don't want you to come here and fall victim of these scenarios. Okay, so be careful when you come. Be careful. Be very, very careful. Okay, there's a lot of things happening out there, but I just want you to be on the good side of every of this law that you would see when you come to the United States. Okay, back to you, Mr. Aloy. I've given you a little break. If you're getting
Yeah.
value for this program, I would like you to comment value plus plus on the comment section as we give it over to Mr. Aloy to give us more of the cultural adaptation to the United States. What and what did you face? How did you overcome it? Getting Nigerian food, wearing Nigerian clothes, or have you just become an American by living in the US for 4 years? So how did you overcome all these situations? Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much once again. Um, Talking about some cultural things that I faced here. Okay. Initially I was in Pennsylvania, where I was living in Pennsylvania. We didn't really have the African stores around. Like this, I wanted to buy some food stuff, African food stuff. I couldn't get them in our locality. So I had to go like an hour drive, 1 hour plus to some other towns to buy these things where I had some African stores located. So that's how I was doing it. So once in maybe 6 months or once in 3 months, I would travel to go buy food stuff. and so we'll buy these things and stock in the house.
So you did bulk
So,
buying, right?
yeah, exactly. So
Good.
you buy those things that will last you for a good time because it's not always easy to make out time to travel that distance to go buy those things.
How long a drive is that?
It's like an hour plus,
Okay. Wow.
like an hour plus. I used to drive like an hour plus, almost 2 hours. Let's say an hour 30 minutes. I'll
I've
go
told
to
you
the place.
guys, come to Virginia. It's just at my backyard. You go and get everything you want. You get everything you want at my backyard. We don't need to
Yeah.
buy bulk
So,
buying.
so
Because if you buy
now,
bulk, those things will end up spoiling. Some of them will spoil, right?
yeah, yeah.
You
So, but you
see?
buy things that you can preserve. Like
Right,
there are some things you can preserve ordinarily in the store,
right.
your what do you call it, in your pantry. There are some things
Hmm.
you can preserve in your freezer or your fridge. So you
Hmm.
just know what you can get that will not spoil before you will
Right,
go for your next trip.
right.
So that was what I was doing. So, but most of it, I also cut down on my yearning for the African things because
So you
I
became an
couldn't get them.
American.
I couldn't readily get them every time. So my yearning for those things kind of reduced. So,
Good.
but now I am in Texas. There are African stores all over the place. So everything is around, is readily available.
We
So
still like
wherever you
Virginia. We still like Virginia. We don't want to come to Texas. All
wherever
right.
you go to, just learn
Mhm.
how to adjust. Do what you're doing there. When you have your time, if you want to relocate to another state like Virginia, if you want to go there, that's fine.
I told you to come. You refused to come here, right? You went to Texas.
Well, it's
Hey, that's good. Someone is asking how much is one full goat. How much were you buying a full goat?
a full good. Can I remember?
Because here in Virginia it's like $250. It's not
Ah,
150. It's 250
well,
actually.
it's
Yeah.
cheap.
Yeah. You can
It's
buy
cheap.
one full goat for $250. And don't look
Okay.
at it, don't change it. Anybody that is changing $250 in your currency in your country, you're doing the wrong thing. This is just 250 currencies, 250 currencies, 250 naira, 250 CDs, 250 anything. Okay?
Mhm.
Because when you come, what you be doing, you go to Walmart, you will stand at where they are selling even just a candy that you want to give your child. They say $2. You say $2 times 1,500, 3,000. No, 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 no. I'm not giving you this. See, everybody did this. I'm telling you, most people, if you come to the United States, you will be converting everything that you will see. You will
Yeah.
convert it in your country's currency. You would always do that. And once you convert it, you will see yourself not taking or eating the thing you want to eat. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just eat
Yeah.
what you want to eat. This is you. This is you making the money and you should enjoy it. It's just $250, okay? Not we are not paying in naira, we are making the money in dollars, okay? Go ahead,
Mm.
sir.
Yeah. So it's interesting, like, but wherever you go, there's always a way around it. So just find for the shops and things you have around you. Ask some of your colleagues or some of your friends where they buy something. That's how you get to know where things are. Then you'll be able to, on your own, go and look at those places and get what you want. Then just adjust yourself and try to make your life as simple as possible. Because sometimes you may be in a state and the next thing you're thinking of moving to another state, then you start thinking of how you're going to move all those things you bought, all those things you have acquired in that place that would be so much for you. So just initially, just get things very, very in small amounts and make your life simple, so that when you are very sure where you want to like settle down finally, you'll be able to move and do your things well and things like that. But for African clothes and things like that, they are very expensive here. Like if you want to talk about tailors, that also, like if you have the materials and stuff you want to sew them, is very, very expensive. So what people do here, though I'm not really a traditional person,
You've
as
never been, I know you.
as decency knows, what people do is what people do is they try to send things back home. Like you buy the material here, you send it home, or you can send the money, They'll buy the material over there and you show them the design you want to, then they sew it for you at, very, very cost effective. But trying to do it here is going to be, the tailors are really expensive. So it's not a wise thing to do that here. Just find someone to send it with, and maybe you may have family or somebody traveling back to the US that will bring them clothes for you. Even if you use the, what do you call it, the United Parcel Service or FedEx or whatever to send those things back, it's even cheaper at the end. It will be cheaper for you. So those are things you want to look at culturally. Then a little bit, I will also digress to the clinical area. There are some things so I faced. Here we still have some patients just see you and maybe I've not really had much of the experience of that though, but I know it happens. The person will just say, I don't like this nurse. Just like that. You didn't do anything, you just walked into the room and the patient just says, I don't want this nurse. So don't be offended about it. It happens a lot. Don't be offended. So they will assign another patient to you. And all patients can reject you on that shift. You always get another patient. Some patients too are like gender sensitive. They'll tell you, I don't want a male nurse or I don't want a female nurse. Those kind of things. It happens a lot. So when it happens, they will always find a way to change the nurse for that patient. Sometimes you also meet all these gender, transgender, bigender patients. We have them here in the US. They will tell you, you see a male patient tell you, I'm waiting for my husband to come. You'll be wondering, where's which is your husband? So,
There is
so
there's
just be
there's
professional.
something someone told me. He said he got a patient and didn't go to the chart, but just knew that the patient needed a catheterization. And then because once you have identified yourself as something, everything in your chart will say that. So if you are
Yeah.
a male and now a female, your chart will say female. Okay, so this guy went there to go and set up, do catheterization, and went into the room. The lady was looking like a lady, and then when it was time to get down to business, and he went there and he found another structure that does not say that the guy that the lady is a lady. So the guy exclaimed, that
Man.
exclamation made the patient angry, and
Yeah.
the patient he said the feelings of the patient was hot. Okay,
Yeah.
so please comport yourself. If you want to shout, shout inside. Don't shout it out. Shout it inside. I can't say that enough. Okay. People mask it. Mask everything that you want to say. Just learn how to make your face say A, and then inside your mind you're saying B. Just say B to
Mm.
satisfy yourself. So, but the guy went there and exclaimed when he saw the structure, and the person was, furious and felt his feelings was hurt. But that was not any problem. They
Mm.
didn't go to any panel or anything. But just be careful. Be very, very, you will see a lot, honestly. You will see, especially if you work in the massage area, you will see a lot. And one of the things that made me not to work in the massage area is patient relative.
Yeah.
Especially when you have to go and do a procedure and the patient relative is in the room. I really don't like it because sometimes patient relative that is coming is one maybe nurse practitioner that is related to the patient, and the nurse practitioner will want to fault everything you're doing just to prove to the whole world that she's also a nurse related to this patient. They will try to show the patient that they are not getting proper care. You understand? But they don't want to give that proper care to the patient. You brought the patient to the hospital. You understand? But still, you're there saying, what medication are you giving? Do you know how it interacts with the other medication? Do you know how this? You would answer question, oh, so get ready. When you enter patient room, just get ready. Thank God there is AI. If you go to the corner where before you dispense your medication, use AI and browse all the medication that you're going to give. Because when you get into the patient, you don't know who is there. And when that
Mm.
when that question start rolling by, God save you if you get a call. You say, excuse me, my patient is calling me. You just run out. Because if you don't get a call, you will answer all those questions and then you have to provide the answer to them. So say, can't they excuse you when you want to perform a procedure? Well, it has to be something you would ask the patient. It's the patient that decides that. So if I want to perform a procedure on the patient, just especially in like I worked in different hospitals in Nigeria, I know that some government hospitals will a nurse has authority to say all the patient relative out. We want to give our medication, and then everybody goes, no, it's not like that here. If you say it, you have ulterior motive. Maybe they've bought you over to kill a patient. So they don't want you to do that. Okay. So what you would do is to ask the patient if the patient really wants those people to be here while you perform the procedure. And if the patient says yes, you have to do it. Even if it's
Mhm.
catheterization, you have to do it while they are there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, well, I don't know. There's just a lot that we have to be so used to that is happening here. And I want to thank Aloy for all the insight that he has given to us, to all this clinical and cultural adaptation to the United States. And I also want to know, is there any other thing you think we should know that you prepared for, for us today? If not, I will ask them to ask you question because I know a lot of people have questions.
I think I've kind of touched basically the things I have.
Okay.
Um, the only thing is just, just try to adjust yourself to the environment. You say when you go to Rome, you behave like the Romans. So don't try to overdo whatever you're doing. Just see how things are done. You watch and you observe, then you're able to succeed in what you want to do. Yeah.
Okay. I have a question for you from Blessed. Blessed said, how is the vascular and cardiology unit as a new nurse in the United States? So you said you work in the is it cardiac telemetry? That's
Cardiac
what you
telemetry, yes.
okay. So it's
Cardiac
different
telemetry.
from the cardiovascular and that you're talking about. Yeah, I believe Blessed, you're asking about CVICU. Is that what you're asking? Is this CVICU or just cardiac telemetry? Okay, sorry, Aloy, go ahead. As a new nurse in the US working in the tele, what are the things to know?
Um, I would say like in a tele unit, first of all, before you even step into that unit, know your EKG, know all the arrhythmias, especially. I won't say know the normals because you should know the normals even when you're sleeping. Make sure you know all the arrhythmias and dysrhythmias. Know all of them because that will equip you very well. Because all those patients are going to be on constant monitors, and you need to watch out for any change in their rhythm and stuff like that, so that you can follow up with the patient. So that's like a very, very, it's like a sine qua non. It's something you must know. And you will, like my hospital, we do like a yearly evaluation on something like that. Like you write exam on it. So they test you to make sure you are still abreast with everything. That's just like your BLS and your ACLS. So you have something like that too in the cardiac unit so that you're able to be ready to manage situations of patients. Then you should also know how to like you get involved in codes. Like when the patient is coding, let's say something has gone wrong with the patient's heart and things like that, they might begin to call a code and you should know what you're supposed to do. So like some of the medications that are used on the unit, all the amiodarone, all the EPIs, just know their dosage, what is supposed to be given. So some of these basic things are things you should learn or know before you even step, onto the floor. Then when you're on the floor, you're going to have a very long time with your preceptor or whoever is going to be orienting you. You'll be able to be exposed to a lot of things under the tutelage of your preceptor, and you're able to observe, some of these things that will happen when you begin to work on your own, And as for most of it, anytime you feel you are not okay to come off orientation, let your preceptor know if there are maybe procedures that they did that you didn't understand, you can ask him to, you can take it to a private place, maybe set up some of the equipment. Sometimes we have the mannequins in the hospital. We use them to practice some of these things. So that person can show you how these things are done on a live person. And when you expose yourself to those things gradually, you see you become more confident and you'll be able to carry them out on a live patient. So don't be scared, don't be discouraged. Nobody's going to eat you up. Try as much as possible to understand what is happening. Work very closely with your preceptor and ask questions where necessary, so that when you become confident and when you're on your own, you will not make mistakes, because that person is there to guide you for that time of your orientation. And once that person is off, you are now on your own. It's going to be like a whole big, sometimes you even feel like you should go back to orientation, but it doesn't work like that. So it's an experience that you are going into. So just open yourself up to learn and be ready to learn. That's just what I'll say about it. So
That's
it's
good.
still the same kind of things we have in Nigeria. I know we have hospitals that we have worked through in Nigeria, and we have people that are precepted. It's about the same thing, but it's just that here you're exposed to maybe more equipment, the way they operate their things, the hospital policies, maybe some medications are different too. Like some of the medications, the branding is different from what we are using in our various countries. So you have to learn these things and know what is obtainable where you are, and that will help you as you
All
come
right,
in.
let's just touch on the other question. There's a question from Esther. She's asking, please tell me more about cardiac. Which area of the cardiac do you work? Is it CVICU? I think we cleared that already. You said it's not CVICU, it's cardiac telemetry. All
Telemetry,
right.
yep.
Okay. So then Annie is asking, how were you able to cope with work, with family at the initial time and presently, especially as a man, plus children's school and appointments? Okay.
Yeah, like I said initially, it wasn't easy. But as a family, working together as a family, you and your spouse, you have to like make out time that will be convenient for your work so that the kids have someone that is also with them. So like initially when I came in here, I was working maybe I work 3 days in a week or 4 days in a week. Then my wife will take the other 3 days in between. So the days I'm off, my wife is working. You understand? So I take those 4 days, I go to work. Then she takes the 3 days and she's working. So somehow the kids are covered. So every day there's always, somebody at home. But some other families, they do things like morning and night shifts. So maybe the husband does day shift, the wife is on night shift. So as this person is coming in from work, then the other person is getting ready to go. So somehow the kids are still covered. So it's just to look for what works best for you for and your family situation. The dynamics are really different. So everybody's this they can work for the same different people. So you have to check your own family and see what happens and what will work best for you. If it's going to be you take different days to work or you do one in a night, however the case is for you. That's how we're able to overcome that at the initial stage. It wasn't easy, but it's doable.
Thank you
It's
so
doable.
much. Thank you. All right. So, in the absence of any other question, I promised Mr. Alloy that it's going to be a 1 hour, 30 minutes. And I think we're keeping our. Yeah, someone is asking questions. And I think we're almost keeping our words. Okay. So it's just like 5 minutes. Okay, we'll have some time. We can attend to the questions. So, Mr. Alloy, if you can touch on this question, say, please, we hear a lot about USA, about that, a lot that USA is not a safe place. Example, gunshot everywhere and violence. Please, where is the safest state to live
I think all states are the same. I've been
in?
hearing about the gun thing too. I have not seen one myself.
Exactly. And he has lived here for 4 years.
It's not like it doesn't happen, it happens. But for myself, none of my relatives or anybody has been shot since they've been here for more than 20 or 30 years. In fact,
Right.
some of them have been here before I was born. I haven't
Mhm.
really heard anyone was shot, but we hear those things on the news. And you know that here in the US, any little thing that happens, they put it on the news. Sometimes the news will escalate it and all that. It's not even exactly the way it is. So also wherever you are in your country, some things happen, they are not covered on the news. So it doesn't mean that those things are not happening. They also carry guns
Exactly.
wherever you are.
You are. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there are
True.
a lot of things happen. So what I would just advise you is be safe. Go out, do what you're supposed to do, go back to your house. Don't stay outside
Looking for
um,
gun.
looking for gun or doing unreasonable stuff or getting
Looking for
yourself in the wrong
gunshots.
place or going to the wrong places at the wrong time. So
That's
do
looking
what
for
is
gun.
right.
Now, if you're going to the
You
wrong place, you're
understand?
looking
Do
for
what is
gun.
right. You go back to your house and rest your head. So with
Right.
that, you
Right.
see yourself, you're safe.
Right.
So
Right.
all
No,
those gun
that's
things, if you're looking at gun, you're not going to do anything. You stay in your
yes.
house, you're carrying gun.
Yes. Yeah, it's okay. That's good. Thank you so much. I hope all the
Yeah.
questions has been answered and I hope we were able to touch on everything. Yes, okay. So before we conclude, I just want to, make a little announcement about the H1B declare what is the pronouncement from Mr. Trump. So the pronouncement is actually one of his campaign promises, because you remember when he was, looking for that position, he said he wanted to create job for the Americans. So he wanted to make Americans' job remain for Americans. So it was noticed that a lot of jobs that are created in America are actually, especially tech jobs, are actually subcontracted to people from other nations. I don't want to mention the name of those countries, but there is, if you see Google, if you see Microsoft, all these big tech companies, they use this H1B to bring a lot of people in here. And the reason why they are tilting towards that is because they get cheap labor from it. Like they're able to pay lower to get those people to work for them. So now, Mr. Trump actually said that if you feel like there's a talent that is super, super important that you cannot do without, if you want to bring the person in, you have to pay American government $100,000. So that $100,000 is almost like an amount that would pay somebody that works in the US for 1 year. Like you're paying somebody's annual fee. You're paying you're paying back to the American government an annual fee of somebody that that you're supposed to hire in the US. So you're paying double, which is very, very impossible. No company, I don't know if there's a company that would like to hire somebody and pay $100,000 for the person, especially agencies. Agencies are out of it already because they are not going to be able to do it for sure. You understand? How many people can you bring? You bring in 10 people, your $1 million already is gone. And this is for lottery, actually. It's not like if you pay it, you're guaranteed of getting the visa. You can still pay it, and if the person does not have a clean record, the person will be denied, and your money is gone. Okay, so but there are some loopholes. There are some loopholes in the policy that some agencies are trying to study and trying to exploit, especially if your company is a non-profit organization, like if you are not providing services for money, you understand, you can actually use those loopholes in the decree that he made and bring in people that you want. So nobody knows how that is going to work until somebody tries it out and then it works for the person. But as at now, the H1Bs that are affected are those that have not been fired. So if your H1B, if anybody has taken you or you have employed you and you're on H1B and H1B alone, please kindly find another filing. Just go ahead and get an EB3 process started immediately. Don't just bank on the H1B alone. I have told you people about the H1B EB3 concurrent filing before. It is working. A lot of people have used it to come to the United States. Some people are already on that program. I told this to so many agencies that I work with, and they are doing it, and a lot of people are also coming through that route. So if you want to do that, if you have already been in that process, then that's fine. But if you are trying to get into the H1B, I don't think for now that there will be a company, a staffing agency, or a hospital, unless is cap exempt. There are two types of H1B. There is the lottery H1B and then the cap exempt. The cap exempt one is the one that they are thinking that it will be exempted from the policy, but nobody knows until somebody tries it. I don't want you to be the specimen that they are going to use for that. So that's why I want you to have a second plan, have a plan B. Try and get your EB3 process started. The other day I was calculating with some people how long EB3 stays at the moment. So EB3 at the moment, from the time that you write NCLEX, sorry, before you write NCLEX to when you finish writing NCLEX, everything is, we calculated it to almost like 3 years. Okay, so yeah, it's 3 years is a long time, but it's actually going to pass really quick if you start your process at the moment. And if you're looking to start your process, get in touch with us. We have, different classes. We have so many specialists. We have more than 20 specialists that are waiting to help you to do your registration. We have instructors that are waiting to teach you the NCLEX content. We have content review classes. My assistants have been putting it on the comment section. You can screen grab it and then save it. You can make payment. It's very, very affordable. And then you would get into the class, start learning. If you have not passed your NCLEX yet, start learning, pass your NCLEX, get on the queue. I always say this, don't worry about what is going on the internet. If you get so much of this information, it will delay you from doing what is supposed to be done. So get in the queue, and stay there in the queue. Before you know it, it will get to your turn. That's how we all did. In fact, when we did this, we didn't even know when the time. We were not even thinking about time frame. When am I traveling or when am I not traveling? What we're checking is has my mate traveled? Has the person I started with traveled? That's what we used. But now there's so much information, and those information is making a lot of people not to do the process, and I don't want that to happen. Get in the queue, do your NCLEX, pass, get a petition on your case, and then start monitoring the process. It will get your turn Sunday. And I believe that if America should have shortage of nurses, all these restrictions will be opened up. It will be lifted like within a snap of a finger because they cannot allow patients to be dying. But those people that were, I really appreciate it is those that are already on the queue. They are the first to come in. That's why I'm always saying get on the queue because that is the best way to do this process. All right, DS260 does not expire. Does not expire. Once you fill that form, is there. What you need to do is just to go ahead and schedule your appointment. Okay. Somebody is saying, Bloss, what of the person that transferred to another country and not Cotonou that got date sometime in August? Any info? Yes, the person has gone. I've given that. The person transferred to Burkina Faso. The person has done the interview. They placed the person on AP, which is something that is not uncommon. They are doing it now. Once you do your interview, they place you on AP. But the reason why they placed the person on AP was because they said they've gotten to their fiscal year. Their fiscal year is normally September. So they are waiting for October so that fresh allotment of visas will be granted to the embassy. And then they will call her to come and pick up her passport. So all their passports are still with the embassy, but they cannot issue her a visa. Everything was all clear. So very soon, if you agree, a lot of people believe in village people. If you agree, I'll bring her to this place so that we can have her explain how she did the process, or I'll have her make a little note about what it takes to do the Burkina Faso process so that anybody that wants to transfer to Burkina Faso can do that as well. So yes, transfer of cases is still allowed, but there's a caveat to it. The caveat to it is that the country that you're transferring to, you must have a PR in that country. So if you are transferring, let me take for instance, you cannot prevent me if I have relocated to the UK, for instance. You cannot tell me that I have to go back to Nigeria with my family of 5 or 6 to go and do interview. I have to interview in UK, but I have to show evidence to prove that I'm working in the UK and I have residency permit in the UK. So they want you to have a PR in that country before you be able to transfer your case to there. So first thing to do, get your PR, then transfer your case. If you know the country you're going to, you cannot get a PR there, don't transfer any case to that country. Okay, so that's all I can say for now. Is there any other question, boss? Please, is there any scholarship opportunity available for student nurses? Student nurses, what kind of scholarship? Is it to come to the United States and study a higher nursing program? I want you to be very clear on the question so that I'll know the kind of scholarship that you're asking about. But I will soon bring somebody on, on the admission side because that's another area that will start booming. Yeah, to study. Yes, there are so many scholarships available. There is a Nurses Rock scholarship that is always available for anybody. If you, sign up with the university that offer it. I think it's up to $2,500 off your tuition. So if you need more information, I will bring somebody here who is going to give you more information about scholarships, about study abroad. That wing of our academy does that a lot. So somebody will come here and talk to us about, studying abroad and all that there is about the process. Okay. All right. Yeah. Is it from Africa? No, it's from the US. The Nurses Rock is from the US, not from Africa. All right, so this will bring us to the end of the program. Next week, I don't want anybody here to be missing in our program. Okay, I want everybody to be present next week. Come here, we'll be here waiting. We'll come with a new face, more information, more preparation. Keep on gathering this information. Before you know it, you'll be more than prepared to come to the USA and begin to make it, as soon as you arrive, because you have all the information that you need for you to actually start flying from day one. Okay, so I really appreciate you, Mr. Aloy. It's a great time. We really enjoy the time. You were such a great explainer. If there's a word like that, you really, went down and went deep on all the things that we ask you to, dissect for us. So thank you so much. We wish and hope that when we call on you again, you'll be able to bring give us another opportunity to come to this program and then give us more information on any content that we want to discuss on. So thank you so much. God bless you. You're such a great guy. You've always been a great guy. Continue to be a great guy. But before you leave, there's a way that we always do. We don't pay for this kind of services, but we have people from different countries, and then we would like to put your brain to test a little bit. So people will be greeting you in their country language. So you'll be reading it for us. So you read the country and then you read the language. So please, guys, if you are on this show, on the comment section, please greet Mr. Aloy in your native language, and then Mr. Aloy will read it out for us. Let's see how vast he is in learning language. This is not a Turkish language, okay? This is this is more than Turkish. All right, we have people from different places, Zambia. So let's bring it on. Let's bring it on. Okay, over to you, Mr. Aloy. Go ahead. I'm listening. Start from the Ghana Rams.
Wait, am I seeing the messages?
Yeah, if you go to the message section, the chat section.
Okay.
Mhm.
Um, I see Songo. That's a part of Nigeria. He even exposed his own.
Okay. Yeah, we just want you to
Then
say those languages.
let me see. The thing is coming like mixed up on my. Oh my goodness! This one is email. That's another Nigeria. Then Iso Pupo. Is that Nigeria?
I don't know. They put where they're coming
Email.
from.
Then Madison. That looks like Ghana.
Yeah.
Um,
That's actually a shape pupo. That's like Yoruba now. That's Yoruba. A shape
yeah,
pupo. Yes, it's Yoruba, right?
yeah,
Yeah, I know.
yeah, Yoruba.
So we have
Then
other people. There's Zambia. Go
Ekale.
and find Zambia.
Ekale sounds like Yoruba too.
There's Zambia there. Go
Yeah,
and read that one
then
of Zambia.
Daroline. That looks like Igbo.
Yes. So what about the Zambia?
Did I see
It's
that
up,
one?
up, up. Go up. You will see
Let
it.
me scroll back up and see.
You must say them. That's the one I want to, so that you bite your tongue a little
Okay.
bit before you leave.
Wow, this one is powerful.
Mhm.
Molishani Bembaba. Molishani Bemba.
That is just
That's
everybody
nice.
saying
It
thank you
sounds
to
like the
you.
country itself, Zambia.
Oh yeah, so there's a lot of thank yous, and that's just to show you how
Oh,
appreciative
thank
we
you
are.
guys too. I appreciate. Thank you.
Yeah, we hope that very soon we would see you here live and direct in the US, and we'll connect. But hey guys, if you guys need anything, any help of any kind, if you find yourself in Texas, in Richmond area, you can link up with me, and I would ask him if he's okay, and we can get him connected with you, and he would help you with any information that you need in that area. So thank you, thank you,
All
thank you,
right.
Mr. Aloy. I hope to
Thank you,
see you
everyone.
next time. God bless you. God bless you, everyone. I hope to see you all very soon. Next week, Friday, keep a date with us. We'll be here with yet another edition of the clinical and cultural adaptation to the United States. God bless you all. Bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.